A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed. And now, I feel like it's been quite a while since the last time I even bothered to try to upload an episode to the series, but in accordance with how things have been going around lately, I feel like that right about now would be a good time to try to get back at it. So, I am going to be doing a multi-part episode once again, similar to how I did a 4-part episode in conjunction to where I became paranoid that at one point one day it would be too late for me to continue producing episodes. And so, here comes a 6-part episode. So it's going to be slightly a bit more crazier than we thought. But I do have multiple subjects that I would want to talk about, so that would make up for it, hopefully. So let's get started. This first subject that I'm going to be bringing up here in Nerf Secrets Reveal is this one question. Why exactly would Nerf want to have crossovers in accordance with popularizing the brand itself? Well, of course this is a very highly asked question amongst many as to why multiple franchises and licensing rights had to be brought in to Nerf itself, just to popularize the brand itself. Well, it's actually quite easy to put it all together, because, of course, Nerf has been doing a lot of crossovers within the past year, within the past decade, within many years of trial and error in order to successfully recreate famous sci-fi movie weapons, or any kinds of weapons in general, that were involved in any kind of movie or show that we've seen within the last 30 years. But some of the best franchises that Nerf has gotten along with, including DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and others. Specifically though, Nerf has really become quite a big hit in terms of creating crossovers that would conjunct 2 different brands to be put together in the one product. Now, Star Wars, of course, has been a very big preliminary point in time of where that Nerf had began to recreate certain blasters from the movies between 2000 and 2012, and even to the present, where Nerf is actually continuing to produce Star Wars blasters that came from any of these movies. But now, what we have here is that we got ourselves more crossovers than we could possibly imagine, with certain join-ups including Fortnite, DC, Marvel, and so on. It's really become clear that now Nerf is really determined to try to get as many crossovers done as possible, Fortnite being one of the more recent type of crossovers. And now, to just talk about the crossovers themselves, it's more likely how crossovers themselves would become as popular as they can be, because now, with many different other crossovers coming in, which are going to bring 2 different franchises together, or even more franchises together, we've had crossovers come in any point in time within the last 100 years. Within the last century or so, we've had ourselves 2 different franchises, or more franchises, put together into one particular film or show. And we've had ourselves some pretty popular crossovers as well. We've had the Family Guy and The Simpsons crossover from 2012, 2013. We've had Scooby-Doo and Batman. And we've had ourselves a lot of crossovers take place. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Justice League, any of which that you can really imagine, we've had crossovers come in all around us. They would become as popular as you could possibly think. But here, with the Nerf brand creating crossovers that would specifically combine 2 different brands together, it's really become abundant how nowadays we aren't exactly sure as to how many crossovers Nerf could possibly have, or how many crossovers Nerf could possibly make. But for right now, it's really all about the math itself. It's really all about how well Nerf is able to complete certain crossovers and have them released in stores. Specifically for people out there who are fans of both franchises, or more franchises, because we have crossovers now that have combined not just 2 franchises, but more. We've had a lot of crossovers come in that combined dozens of franchises and put them all together into one bit of a project. One kind of project involving multiple franchises. But we've got ourselves lots of crossovers that do associate with Nerf actually pretty well. We've had ourselves not just DC, Marvel, Fortnite, and whatnot, but the fact is that now, just like with what Nerf does with most of its original works, we've had multiple different types of crossovers that would associate from different franchises, but we also got to worry about licensing rights and the policies based on the Copyright Act of 1976, based on fair use. It does apply to multiple aspects as to what kind of projects you would generally make, but it wouldn't always apply to certain works on YouTube, because there has been a new policy that had been initiated by Google that now YouTube is certainly patting down people for using copyrighted work, including music, movies, and so on. So it's practically become a bit more harder for us to just use copyrighted music, even for just 30 seconds, because it would prevent us from initiating monetization on our videos. And I can't necessarily blame anybody for trying to initiate monetization while they still have some type of copyrighted work on their channel, but nonetheless, I do feel like it should be a big step in the direction in which that we should try to get going to. But yeah, I do know that the policy is a bit tighter than usual, but now it's just change, and we gotta learn to adjust to it. So from here on out, with licensing rights and fair use that would apply to anything, especially to YouTube and Nerf, I almost feel like that now, Nerf Secrets Revealed could be something that would have to stop anytime soon. But I would never give up, per se. So that's why I would be more than just determined to keep on going. So, that's why I'm still here now. I'm still here with Nerf Secrets Revealed, and I feel like it's something that just won't stop for a while. But back to copyright. Copyright that would associate with crossovers would actually be a bit more complex than you'd think. Because, of course, with what I've said about licensing fees, policies that would apply to fair use, and otherwise, we've had ourselves crossovers, of course. They would pay extra money. The production companies that created any of these franchises, they would have to pay extra just for licensing fees. The rights and policies that would hold to the copyright holders, especially towards the production companies that were responsible for originally producing the franchises that we've seen for the last 15 years or so. We've had ourselves a fair share of crossovers that might have taken a long time just to come out, but that's only because we've had more tighter and more sensitive aspects that would point towards the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use is starting to get a bit harder for us to use, and we've also tried our best to do whatever we could to just steer clear of these copyright policies, but of course, it's not always going to be as easy, and it's not always going to happen exactly how we planned. But now, this just gives me a lot more thought as to how am I going to continue on with my work here on my channel. But now, I feel like that here in Nerf Secrets Revealed, I feel like I should keep on going. So, if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.